Hello my motor enthusiasts. Fancy some chat about the Formula One Constructors' Championship?
Absolutely, Enzo. Is there an emerging challenger for the crown?
Indeed, McLaren is closing in on Aston Martin and even has their sights set on the mighty Ferrari.
Blimey! How did that happen?
Well, McLaren has been on a roll, accumulating a whopping 104 points in the last 3 races alone.
And the drivers contributing to this surge?
Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris have been instrumental, securing 2 consecutive double podium finishes.
How close are they to surpassing Aston Martin?
Astonishingly close, William only 11 points behind after their superb performance in Qatar.
And what about Ferrari, the only team to have defeated dominant champions Red Bull this season?
They'd need to score 80 points more than the Italians in the final 5 rounds, a feat both Norris and Piastri believe is feasible.
That's a tall order, but McLaren's recent form suggests it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Spot on, William. Even Max Verstappen acknowledged McLaren as the most consistent rivals this season.
Sounds like we have an exciting end to the season brewing. Can't wait to delve deeper into it.
Hello, fellow petrol heads. This is your host, Enzo, coming to you with another episode.
And I'm William Turner, your co-pilot on this thrilling ride.
We're here every day, delivering the latest on F1 Motor Fever podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a beat. Full throttle, let's get started. McLaren's resurgence is nothing short of extraordinary, isn't it? They've piled on a whopping 104 points from the last 3 races. And this isn't just down to chance or luck, mind you. They've had 2 double podium finishes, thanks to Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris.
Indeed, they've been nothing short of brilliant. Currently placed 5th overall, they are snapping at the heels of Aston Martin, with a mere 11-point gap.
Quite right. And it's not just Aston Martin they've got in sight. They're also gunning for Ferrari, who are currently 3rd. They need to score 80 points more than the Italians over the final 5 rounds. And both Norris and Piastri believe it's doable.
It's a tall order, but with the way McLaren's been performing, it's not entirely out of the question, is it?
Not at all. In fact, there's a sense of optimism in the team. Oscar Piastri, the Australian rookie, who bagged his first win at the Lusail circuit in the sprint, is confident. They're looking forward to the challenge, and they're ready to give it their best shot. The gap to Aston Martin is now well within their reach.
And it's not just us who've noticed McLaren's consistency. Red Bull's race winner, Max Verstappen, has also praised McLaren as the most consistent rivals.
Indeed. He even went as far as to say that McLaren has the best driver lineup out of all of them. What a compliment. He also mentioned their operational excellence.
Absolutely. And let's not forget Piastri's wise decision to go with McLaren instead of Alpine. That's proven to be an inspired move, with McLaren now 129 points clear of Alpine.
Speaking of inspired moves, let's not forget the team's decision to introduce significant upgrades to their car in Austria back in July. That was a game changer, and they've been on a roll since then. In essence, McLaren's journey this season is a remarkable testament to the power of perseverance, strategic planning, and teamwork.
You're absolutely spot on. It's an exciting time for the team and the sport. Anything can happen in the remaining rounds, and we can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Bring on the next race.
Couldn't agree more. The anticipation is palpable. Let's look forward to more thrilling races and intriguing strategic battles on the track. Full speed ahead. If we glance at the recent statistics, McLaren's performance is unprecedented. Even the dominant Red Bull, with their impressive 15 wins in 17 races, haven't scored as many points in the last 3 rounds.
Indeed, McLaren's the only team to have been on the podium in the last 3 rounds. It's a testament to their consistency and commitment.
That's correct. And yet, Lando Norris, despite his impressive performance, seems to be his own harshest critic. He was quoted recently expressing his belief that he should have fought for 2 pole positions and potentially 2 victories.
That's the spirit of a true competitor, isn't it? Always striving for more, always pushing the limits. It's that kind of drive that has put McLaren in the position they are in now.
Absolutely. Norris's self-criticism, although it might seem harsh, is indicative of a powerful will to win. And it's that same will that could very well see McLaren beat Aston Martin and Ferrari in the 2023 Formula One Constructors' Championship.
That's the big question, isn't it? Can they maintain this momentum and outperform their rivals next season? Only time will tell, but it's safe to say that they've set the bar high this year.
Without a doubt. Whether they manage to overhaul Ferrari and Aston Martin or not, one thing's for certain, McLaren is a force to be reckoned with, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. William, why don't we have a butchers at some of the online chatter about this topic?
Certainly. Let's see what's brewing. User Brian Pringle says, quote, desperate Red Bull to sit down with Perez after Qatar nightmare, unquote.
That's definitely stirred the pot. What are the responses like?
Well, there's quite a lot of banter. Let's start with a comment from Silent Amber, quote, Horner, come in, take a seat. We need to talk. No, we're not angry, just disappointed, unquote.
Ha ha ha, I can only imagine that conversation.
And it doesn't stop there. King Toke responds by saying, quote, why does this seat say Alpha Tauri, unquote. To which Eugene Fraxby replies, quote, why is my seat on a hinged bit of flooring, unquote.
These folks do have a sense of humor, don't they?
Indeed, they do. There's more. Mac Manu says, quote, this is outrageous, it's unfair, unquote. And then there's Beck Hbin, who chimes in with a witty, quote, it's not fair to take a seat and not be a master, unquote.
It's all in good fun, isn't it? Any more notable comments, William?
Yes, actually. Here's one from Steve French, quote, maybe it's just me, but 2 McLaren's on the podium every week is really not a good look for old Sergio, unquote.
Well, that's a bit harsh, but competition is the name of the game after all. Any other comments catching your eye, William?
Yes, in response to Steve French, Badger Sprite says, quote, it really puts into perspective that if McLaren had this car in Bahrain, even taking into account Perez having a brilliant start to the season, Checo would be what, 4th or 5th in the championship right now, unquote.
Interesting perspective, indeed. It's clear that the internet is buzzing with opinions and speculations. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out in the upcoming races. That's all we have time for on this episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've discussed the remarkable journey and recent performances of McLaren, and the internet reaction to Red Bull's recent sit-down with Perez. But remember, the race isn't over until the checkered flag is waved. Keep commenting, sharing, and subscribing to stay in the loop.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Our episodes are as regular as clockwork, so make sure you're always in the pit lane and ready to go. And who knows? Maybe next time we'll be discussing how your favorite team has hit back in style.
As always, we're grateful for your company. Your support drives us, pun intended, to keep delivering the best in Formula One news and analysis.
Don't forget, the world of Formula One never sleeps, and neither do we. There's always something happening, and we're here to keep you up to speed. Enzo and William, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold. Until next time, stay tuned.